Hello everyone. So in this video, we're going to be going over a simple scatter plot so this is one of the plots that you can make using Matplotlib, that package. And basically scatter plot is useful if you want to show like the correlation between two numbers. So like in this example, we're going to be focusing on a group of people's names, not names, their ages. So names would be like a string, so like that wouldn't be a number that you can quantify. So it would be the age of those people, and then correlate that with heights. And so there's going to be two parts to this. One is creating a function. So basically, it will take in inches, feet, and inches, and then convert it into centimeters. And then the second part is actually going to be the plotting and using Matplotlib. So we'll first start with the packages, importing the packages. So we're going to do import Matplotlib, then import Matplotlib.pyplot. We're going to need pyplot as RA, right? And then move on that. So those are the import statements. And next, what we're going to do now is we're going to define our function. So our function is going to take in feet and inches, and then give you a centimeter as the result. So let's start. So call the function define, and then so we'll say convert. We'll call it convert height, and then it's going to have two inputs. So the first input is going to be feet, so we'll just call that F. And the second one is going to be I, inches. Right? Then we can do this in one line. So if you recall, the conversion from inches to centimeters is basically you multiply by 2.54. So that's the conversion. So you can just do one, you can make it as simple as possible. You can do it in one line. So we're going to return, and then the conversion from feet to inches is there's 12 inches in one foot. So we're going to do 12 multiplied by F. So then you have your inches. You don't have total inches yet. You have to add plus I to it. So this is your total inches that somebody is, how tall they are, and then you multiply by 2.54. Yeah, so then we have our function that takes in our feet and inches and then gives you back centimeters. So let's run this. Yeah, no errors here. And then we'll try with my height. So I'm going to write down the names of people. So my name, Arinda, and then I'm 5 foot 10 inches. And we'll put an age as well too. So let's put an age 26. We'll need this, for the plotting. And then we'll just go up here. We'll go and then call our function with 5 and 10. And since it's going to return it, we can just call print. So let's call print. There we go. So that's my height in centimeters, right? And it seems right. So 5 multiplied by around 30, which is 150, plus around like 27, which is seems right. So now let's go and add more people. So let's add Shivani. Her height is 5 foot 4 inches, and she is 26 as well. Let's add in Donald. So Donald is 5 foot 1 inches, 1 inch, and he is 35. Let's add in Rick. And Rick he's a short guy. He's kind of short. 4 foot 10 inches. Age 20. And then we're gonna add in Turpal. He's a pretty tall guy. So 6 feet, 3 inches. And it's kind of older, it's 43. And then the last person we're going to add is Galileo. Galileo. And he is the tallest, right? 6 foot, 5 inches. And he is 96. Okay, so we have 6 people here, 6 people, their ages and their heights. So what we're going to do is very simple. So we want to do we want to get these into a tuple. So this 5 and 10 is a tuple. So we'll create an array of tuples. So let's call this heights in inches. So it's going to be, we're going to just do this, all the heights. So 5'10", 5'4", 5'1", 4'10", 6'3", 6'5". So we got all of our heights. So there's a simple, like, one line of code you can do. You can grab the for loop, you can call this function that we just made, convert height, and get all of the heights in centimeters. So call heights centimeter equals, so we open an array, and since this returns a number, right? So we can just call with, as you define in a for loop, you have an index, right? So we call convert height. What we want to do is actually go into this array and access one by one, and then just define the for loop within that one line. So we don't have, make it as compact as possible. So we're going to call heights at inches, and then the first parameter, so at I, so it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? At I, and then 0 is going to be at the 0. So at the 0 index is 5'10", and then within that, to get at the 5, you need to call the index 0. So that's your feet. And then that's your feet, right? And then comma, convert height, and then inches is going to be the same thing. Heights, inches, at I, same index, and then we're going to be 1. So that's the inches, right? And then we'll close this off. And then we'll do a for loop here, for I in range, and then we have to call the length of the, or basically how many heights we have. So we have, so we can just call length of heights, and then inches. And then we'll save this, and then we'll hit run. Okay, so then that was good. So basically just, this is simple, like you can, for each index, you're grabbing the feet and the inches from what we had defined earlier, and then calling that function that we just made. So now what we can do is we can print this out first. Let's print this out just to see if everything looks good. Hit run. So yeah, this 177.8, we're getting that for the first one, which is 5'10", and bigger for like the 6 guys, 6 feet guys, 6'3", 6'5", and then smaller for the 4'10" guy. So yeah, now what we can do is we can create a scatter plot. So what we're going to do is we're going to call RA dot scatter. And then we're going to feed in. So the X, on the X is going to be the ages, and then the Y is going to be the heights in centimeters. So we're going to go in, and first, so the X is going to be the ages, actually. So what we're going to do, actually, what we need to do beforehand is call our ages too. We have to define our array there too. So we just copy, we'll just copy from what was commented out. So 26, 35, 20, 43, 96. Oh, and there's actually another 26, so I'm 26 as well. Okay, the scatter. And then this is the scatter plot. Ages, it's going to take two things. So X, for the X-axis is going to be ages. And then for the Y is going to be the height in centimeters. So ages and then height centimeter. And we'll hit save and then we'll hit run. Yep, and there we go. There's our scatter plot. So yeah, so Galileo is the oldest and he's the tallest. And yeah, you can see that the 226s, the difference there. And yeah, so that is pretty much a simple example, you know, scatter plot, you know, correlating two numbers. Basically, if you have two data sets that are numbers, it's helpful to have a scatter plot showing if there might be any correlation between age and height. Probably not, but yeah. So hope you enjoyed this video. Any comments, suggestions would be really helpful. And yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you.